Hello guys, this is Dev Vasudev. I'm back with another short video on how to create EIP in AWS using Terraform. Hope you know what's EIP. It's Elastic IP or static IP. It's never going to change. Okay, whereas dynamic IP keeps changing. Okay, whenever we create EC2 instance in AWS cloud, by default it will be having a dynamic IP, and whenever you go for a boot, then you don't have the same IP as it was assigned earlier. So for the benefit of keeping same IP address, we are going to have a elastic IP address which will be static. No matter how many times you are going to boot it. Okay, now let's see how we are going to do. uh, so we'll create one folder called EIP. Okay, we'll create one folder called EIP. Go into the EIP and click new file and main.tf. Okay, and another file called provider.tf. Okay, in the provider.tf, what I'm going to do is that I have already created some codes. I will also paste in the description. So we will paste the code which I have already written and tested. Control C. Okay, from provider.tf, I will copy these things. This should not be in provider.tf. This should be in provider.tf. In main.tf, these are the things that we have to have it. Okay, and main thing is that you are going to save it. Control S. So what we have done is that we have created a folder called EIP for our project. It's called as Elastic IP address. In that I have created two folders, well, two files, main.tf and provider.tf. In main.tf, I will explain you this. You have a, first module for creating a AWS instance. I have noted it down in the last video. We have seen that how to note down the AMI and paste over here. I have noted down and pasted out over here. And we are interested in T2 micro as it is in the free tier. And I'm going to name this as a public IP instance, which will have a elastic IP or public IP. I'm going to name the resource. And second thing, coming down, I'm going to create the elastic IP for this instance. Okay, and I have created this reference where you're going to, whenever this module gets created, that EC2 instance will have a ID. That ID will be passed to this instance, this module. Okay, and when the elastic IP is created, the AWS should know to whom I am going to assign it. So it is going to reference to the instance ID that's being passed from once the EC2 instance gets created, it will get the ID. The same ID will be fed to this resource. Okay, and now the end, being the end user, I would like to know what is the IP address that's been allocated. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to output the public IP that is assigned to my EC2. Okay, now let's get into the terminal mode. I will do clear and move to, for example, move to the folder that's got created. It's EIP. Earlier I was in Terraform. Now I will go to EIP. In EIP, you are going to initiate it. Everything should begin with init. Terraform. Meanwhile, I will show you instances. There is nothing, no instances that has been created with the name public IP address. Okay, see here nothing is there, and let's see where we have come. Okay, it got successfully initialized, and I will clear once again. Then you are going to have a Terraform. We are going to plan. These are the simple commands you need to remember. I am interested in yes is one, which is not working, I guess. We didn't save provider.tf, that's why it is giving error. Once again we will issue Terraform plan. Every file that's getting created should be saved, otherwise it will give error. Okay, now it has planned. We will do one to clear, then we are going to apply. Okay, just say yes. Say yes. Now as you can see, it's getting created. EC2 instance will get created. Once it get created, that EC2 instance will have a ID. Okay, that ID will be passed to your EIP. Now the EIP module knows once I create a elastic IP address, I need to assign this IP address to the EC2 in this EC2 instances. Okay, once these both get created, you will get a output as a public IP address that's by assigned by AWS. Okay, now we'll go and see what's going on. We'll just hit the refresh button. See, it's getting created with the name public IP. I have also assigned a tag called public IP, and if you go here and say connect, not connect, in the description itself, public IP is assigned. Okay, and we'll refresh. Elastic IP is also assigned, the same thing. And if you come and hover, see the same IP address is also displayed locally. Okay, okay guys, we saw that how we are going to create an instance. That instance will get passed on to your EIP module. EIP is getting to know what the ID of the instances is, and we are going to get an output. Okay, I hope this is informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.